for them.
It feels great seeing projects around the community and knowing we're a small part of making that happen.
We're helping people buy their first homes.
Plan for the future.
From startups to big business.
We're part of the community.
And we're proud of it.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zzz, zzz?
I think your quash later valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance? If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Shots Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Mounted Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
How you doing? Nice weekend. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Spicy Pie, the Scotty K Show on this Wednesday night. Last Wednesday of January as we move into the month of February next week, and tournament time just around the corner. We're going to talk a lot of basketball here tonight. We're going to talk high school basketball with Bishop Ryan girls, the Minot High boys and girls. But we're going to start out tonight talking some Minot State men's basketball as Matt Merkin joins me. Matt hasn't had a chance to really be around much this year with all the COVID stuff going on and some recruiting and that sort of thing, but he made a point to come out and see us tonight. And Matt, boy, I tell you what, you got to be, after coming back from the Christmas break and not getting to play a lot of basketball competitively anyway, you got to do a lot of practicing and that sort of thing, but got back into action at home last week, and boy, looks like you had just a tremendous weekend, your kids, on both nights with big wins over Mankato and Concordia St. Paul.
Played really well this last weekend. It was a lot of fun. I think we won 29 and 44 or something like that, so had two really complete games offensively and defensively. So super excited the way we played and able to move into second place on the north side and catching up a little bit with Duluth. It was really frustrating to have the little break that was forced upon us because due to some COVID stuff and missed some games, but we were able to continue to practice virtually the whole time in some way, shape, or form. We had different amounts and weren't always playing 5-on-5 and had small groups and stuff like that, but at least we could keep going, so I'm thankful that we were able to do that and then come back and we played really well. So we were a little worried when we had the shutdown that teams would take advantage of it and maybe build some leads on us in the standings just as we were sitting out, and nobody really separated. And then we came out and had a great weekend last weekend, like I said, and actually caught up a little bit with Minnesota Duluth, who was at one point in the top, I think, six in the country, and we're one or two losses behind them now in second place. And so just really excited to try to get a tough road trip, though, man. We come back, we do that.
Exactly.
We lost a few home games, and now we go to a top 20 team 12 hours away or 13 hours away and play in their gym where they haven't lost all year. So, but that's great for us. We need that. We need to play some good teams right now, and we need to keep building our resume for the postseason.
Hey, you came back, you played the one game against Mary and then got caught by the COVID situation. When you went into last week, you put 97 and 98 on the board. But I think the key thing on there is I look at you only gave up 69 and 54 defensively. So you had to be happy with the way your kids played defensively.
Yeah, we were really happy with that end, and some of those points came in transition from turnovers that we forced. Or long rebounds and that sort of thing. So that was really good. We've been good offensively all year. We're actually leading the entire nation in field goal percentage. We're in the top 10 in all of Division II in assists and assist to turnover ratio and in three-point percentage and a whole bunch of those type of stats. Max Cody, I think, slipped to number 2 in the country in assists, and Cody Dwyer is number 2 in field goal percentage, and Jackson Gunville's making threes at a higher clip than anybody else in the country right now. We've got some guys really playing well. Then when we defend, we're really good, so it's been exciting. And we're on the road for 2 weekends, but when we come back, it'd be great to have some people in the stands to watch because we've got as good of a team as we've had here in a long time. And sitting there at, we had a little bout, like we said, with some sickness and dropped a few games there where we weren't quite 100%, but we're sitting at 12-4 and feeling really good about where we're at.
Hey, Matt, let's talk a little bit about the situation with standings and that sort of thing. Because of COVID and because of the protocols, anything that you lose during the regular season, you won't make up. How is that going to be formulated? I mean, what's the formula they're going to use at the end of the year? Because you're going to have teams that have played, probably 16, 18 games and other teams that have played 12.
Well, it's really frustrating, just to have for everybody, and I don't want to minimize that, that people have had some struggles, certainly health-wise or financially due to some of the things associated with the COVID stuff. And basketball's, not as big as some of those deals, but it has been certainly frustrating to have it taken away and sometimes feel like we're healthy enough to play. But you have to respect the decisions of the people that make those hard decisions, and everybody's always been number one, making sure that everybody's safe, which should be the top priority. And the issue that I have with it is that we can't make those. They won't allow us to make those games up, and that's tough because it's really important to the young men in our program to play. And I feel like there could be a solution to that. I don't have that solution. I'll admit that first because there are some long trips, and we missed the trip to Marshall, Minnesota, and Sioux Falls. So it's 16, 18 hours on the bus, and we lost a home game against Wayne State and Augustana, who were again 16 or 18 hours on a bus to get up here and play us. So it's tough. We're so spread out. In our league, you can't just hop on a bus and get there on a Tuesday night and get back, and make those up. So certainly some challenges there. They won't make the games up, and so we'll have a few less games in some teams. But most teams in our league have missed somewhere between 1, 2, or 3, 4 games. So they're going to go by winning percentage, at the final standings, and we're just trying to get to that point in time at the end of the year. If you're 1 or 2 in your division, you get a bye to the tournament, and if you're 3 or 4, you get a home game, and if there's 5 or 6, you go on the road, and if you're 7 or 8, you start recruiting for next season. But we've got there's a ways to go, but we're in a good spot where we're at, sitting at number 2 right now. We want to make sure we keep playing well and playing our best basketball here down the stretch.
Well, you make one of the longest trips, and I've been on those trips before. You go to Fayette, Iowa on Friday night to take up Upper Iowa, a team that's ranked 19th in the nation, and then make the trip to Winona. When you look at a trip like that, I know you're going down to play a nationally ranked team, but I think your team coming off the weekend that you had, well, you're just chomping at the bit to go out and let's go play some basketball against some good competition.
Yeah, we're really excited to play them. They were dropped in the standings. They lost a game last week. They're 17-3. They've been up to the top 10 at times. One of the best teams in the country, high-scoring team. A team that we've had a great deal of battles with in the past, in the postseason and things like that. So it's a tough place to play for sure, going that far away from home and playing a good team. But as I mentioned earlier, we need to play those good teams right now and see where we're at and see what kind of team we can be down the stretch, because we've only got 4 more weeks of basketball left. It's hard to believe it's getting almost to that time.
Exactly.
4 weeks, and then it'll be playoffs, and and there'll be districts and regionals around here. And we just had a athletic department meeting today talking about the regional tournament, the state B being in the Dome, man. And it's just like you get to that point in time and you start to get a little extra excited for basketball.
Right.
And if you're a coach or a player, there's nothing like postseason and putting yourself in a good position for postseason. So You mentioned it too. A couple days you were trying to get me over here, and I was going out recruiting, and you used when we got our games canceled, a chance to go watch some area games. So it's been great. It's been great to do that. It's been frustrating to not play our games, but we feel like we're playing well right now, and we're excited to see how good we can get.
Matt, talk a little bit about the chemistry of your team. And with the COVID problems that we've had, and you knew you probably would have to live through some of those this year. Do you like the makeup of your basketball team?
Love
right
our
now?
team. Love our team. There's been frustrations this year with some of the COVID stuff. There hasn't been much frustration as far as just an unbelievable coaching staff, as far as quality coaches and just quality people. With Coach Herbst, Coach Esbold, and Coach Reichert are just so good. Have had so much success in their careers. I'm fortunate to have them at Minot State on our staff. And then the guys in our program are just great kids. I mean, they're just so fun to be around. We've got a lot of local guys, and we were talking about it a little bit the other day. They were pitching a story a little bit that hopefully will get done. With Ben Bull and Jackson Gunville playing so much for us, I don't think there's been a local guy playing D2 since all the way back to Brant when he was at UND.
Right.
That's been 15-ish years or so. So, and those two are having great success for us, and it's so cool that we have one from Minot High and one from Bishop Ryan having an impact for us. And man, how cool it would be if a couple of the other local guys we have keep getting better and can get out there and play for us and have an impact, because they have an impact on our program just for who they are as people and who they are as young men. But the fans don't always get to see it on game night. We get to see it every day, and I'm just really blessed to have those guys in our team, and I'm really confident to say that we've built the program since we made the jump to D2 that's got just high character young men that are going to be doing great things in life and be real successful people. So you got to throw that out there, because it's been so much fun, even though it's been frustrating missing those games. And we've talked about that a lot as a coaching staff and as a team, when we're sitting there and everybody else gets to play and we don't get to. And we, the night I went over and I watched Minot High play Bismarck on a game, usually on a Friday we play, and we got to go to that game as a coaching staff. And we had, I think, 7 guys that weren't in quarantine, and all 7 of them were at the game sitting there cheering on, with Jackson's brother playing over there, and they were able to go with a teammate and cheer on the Minot High guys. Was really fun, and that was a great game. So it's been fun to be out, but I want to coach my team on Friday and Saturday, not watch high school games. I can watch those on Tuesdays.
All right, long trip to Fayette for Friday night, and then Saturday. Then you're on the road next week at Bemidji and Crookston, and then come home to finish up. After that, you've got 2 at home against St. Cloud State and Duluth, and then you finish up with a game on the road at Northern, and then 1 at Moritz. It's still a lot of basketball to play, but I just can't imagine. We're at the end of January already. Matt, I think this year is just flowing by.
It's been strange. Sometimes ways it feels like it's been a long time, and sometimes it's flown by. And we got 8 games left, 4 of them against either teams that are ranked or have been ranked. Oh, man, it's going to be really fun down the stretch, and come check us out if you haven't seen us. It's a really exciting team. Like you said, we're one of the top 10 scoring teams in the country, and we're doing it with a mix of guys, but a couple of them are local guys that could use your support. And if you come out and watch us, I think you'll be excited the way we play.
All right. Hey, Matt, thanks a lot. Good luck this week, and we'll get you on before the end of the year.
Thank you.
All right. That's Matt Merkin, the head men's coach. Again, they will be on the road this weekend. They will play at Upper Iowa and Fayette, Iowa on Friday, and then Saturday at Winona. We're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk Minot High. Boys basketball, Dean Winchesky will join me. Big win for his Magi last night, and big news coming out of the state coming up probably in another 45 minutes or so as far as the new poll. When we come back, Dean Winchesky joins us here on the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie.
Remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden french fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
Life is all about moments. Big moments. Small moments. And those moments you can't put into words. It's how we at First International Bank and Trust live first and have been for more than 110 years. One customer, one family, one moment at a time. First International Bank and Trust. Live first.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
Well, welcome back here to the Spicy Pie, the Scotty K Show here, live on this Wednesday night, the final Wednesday night of January. And joining me now to talk some Minot High boys basketball, Dean Winchesky, the head coach of the Magicians, coming off a huge win again on the road in a place where it's not easy to win. They knock off Bismarck High last night. Tough ball game from start to finish. And Dean, you've been around long enough. I've been around long enough. Carl Gard Gymnasium isn't the easiest place to go down and get a win.
No, it isn't. I'm a little more concerned actually about my sub over here right now. I'm looking at Schwarz and Merkin and Coleman, and they're going to take my food. So we got to get out of here quick.
All right.
No, it is. It was quite an environment last night, and the Demons have a generational type player in Eagle Staff, and they got a nice surrounding group with them, and we were fortunate to go down there, and our kids responded. They play extremely hard, and they battled, and every time Bismarck made a run, we had an answer, and it was a variety of kids that stepped up. I think we ended up with 4 in double figures and a fifth with 9, so that was a positive.
Well, you know, you look at and I watched both games last night, the girls and the boys, Dean, and you know, your go-to people, and people know that's going to be Derek Dissett and Eric Wentz, the kids that have been around the program for 2-3 years. But I thought you got so many contributions from so many other kids last night.
Well, and that's been kind of the key here, Scott. You know, early in the year, everybody knew it was going to be Derek and Eric, and they were putting a lot of pressure on themselves to have to go and create, and I think that really limited us offensively. But as we got into probably the last 3 weeks, we're starting to see kids get really comfortable with their roles, and it started with Jagger Gunville, and it started with Morgan Nygaard, and then I think Logan Conklin has been an amazing find for us. That he's kind of taken over Michael Ross's role, and just that hustle guy, kind of that grit guy that goes and rebounds and finds holes and defends and does all the little things that people usually don't celebrate, but Logan's been phenomenal, and we're starting to develop a little bit of a bench, and we kind of knew it would be a little bit of a process, just because of we were playing, you know, 2 freshmen and a sophomore, and then our 9th guy's another sophomore. So we kind of had a feeling that there'd be some growing pains, but our kids have really risen to the occasion, for lack of a better expression.
You know, I didn't see a final box score. I don't know what Eagle Staff ended up with last night, but I thought the first time you played them here, you did a really nice job defensively, and I thought for the most part, watching on TV last night, that he's going to get his points and he's going to get his shots, but I thought you still kind of kept him in check last night.
Yeah, I mean, he had 27 and he had 8 in the last minute. So, and one was a banked in 3 and 2 were off a technical foul that I don't want to talk about. I mean, it wasn't on me, but it was not overly impressed with the call. But yeah, and you know, we ended up you know, he hit one just before that. So, you know, he's a good player. He's extremely talented. Like I said, he's generational. He's able to do a ton of things. And you know, here he had 12, and I think they were a little shocked in how to attack the chaser we threw at him. And last night, I think we started Jagger on him, and then we put Eric on him. And Eric, I thought, did a nice job, keep him in front, and then we trapped him when we had opportunities too. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it's really a team effort, and we don't rely on one guy, and we've been pretty fortunate.
Dean, I take it.
I go back to Jager Gunville because he's a kid that, we watched his brother play for many, many years. Great shooter from Minot High, now playing a lot of minutes for Matt over at Minot State. Jager, the night of the Bismarck night, the game that I did, I was just so impressed with the way he just came out and attacked it defensively and put it upon himself that, you know what, I'm going to go down, or I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to stop him as much as possible.
Yeah, he was phenomenal last night, and even though we were trapping, Jagger did a great job of keeping him squared and getting him in situations where we could get that second guy to get there and trap, and he was on the floor, and one of them, he hurt himself. He tapped the ball away from the Gillette kid, and he dove, and he landed on the ball. I mean, he's playing with all-out effort, and you can't ask any more. And now he's starting to get comfortable shooting it. And last night, unfortunately for us offensively, he got in a little foul trouble, and that took a kid that's really shooting the ball very well out of the game for a good portion of the first half. But like you said, that's why you have a bench. And like I said, both Grayson and Eric, I thought played very well off the bench, and Bryce gives us good minutes. So we're starting to develop a little depth, and that's all we can do right now.
Yeah, you hit some big free throws down the stretch last night too, especially from some of your younger kids.
Yeah, and we go 7 of 8 down the stretch. That gives you a chance to win games. You don't give away possessions by doing that, and our kids have a ton of faith in each other, and they're not worried about one kid having to do everything. It truly is a team effort, and that's what makes this group special and different, I think, from a lot of other teams, is because they really don't care. I mean, they're truly happy for each other when they do well, and they celebrate each other's successes. And from the first player, whether it's Derek or Eric, to the last man on our bench, they're into the game. They're excited. They recognize their value. That even if they're the practice guys that go gut out times against the varsity, it's an exciting thing right now.
Hey, when you look at it right now in the standings, and I know we're still got a long ways to go, Dean, but you guys sit at 10-1, Bismarck Century at 9-2. And Bismarck High at 9-3 in the West. So those 3 teams have kind of separated themselves a little bit from the pack. But you can't look by anybody, can you?
No, our league is crazy like that. I mean, we hit a nice stretch here, and of course Jamestown, our game got postponed, and Century got postponed, so we play them almost back to back, it seems. But we got St. Mary's Saturday, and they beat us early in the year. And, I mean, they only got 4 losses, so they can put themselves in a situation to have a big tiebreak on us by coming and getting us. So I can guarantee that Coach Etzel's going to have his team ready to compete and ready to play hard. And so we have to know how we have to attack St. Mary's, and that's on us as coaches, to be able to put together a game plan. And our kids have done a great job of attacking with that game plan and then adjusting when we've had to.
Well, you look at it, it's a battle every night. I mean, look what happened at Dickinson last night. Dickinson gets Century. That's going to happen again before the West Region regular season is over.
No question. You're going to see upsets. I was talking to Jason Horner before last night. They were 5-6 in the conference, but they were 6 points away from being 8-3. So, I mean, it's not like they're getting blown out by anybody either. And Williston's got a nice little run here going, and Jamestown's got a scary team. They've got size and scorers, so you can't look past anybody. You got to find opportunities to win. But as much as you put pressure on winning now, it doesn't really matter. You go to the tournament and you lay an egg, you're out, and the season looks awful. I mean, or you're middle of the pack and you go have a great tournament, and all of a sudden you're playing at the state tournament. So it's about getting better. It's about the process of understanding who you are, so that when the end of the season comes, you're able to compete.
Hey, Dean, a great start to the season. Good luck on Saturday night, a game you can hear here in the PSP network, and we'll talk down the road.
All right, thanks, Scotty.
All right, that's Dean Winchesky, the head coach of the Minot High Magicians. The boys, they are up top now, right? The West Region boys standings at 10-1, 11-1 overall. They lead Century by a game, and Bismarck Century back a game and a half. We'll take you. Yep, Roger Coleman, the head coach of the Bishop Ryan Lions. Hey, they're riding a high wave. They are number 1 right now in the district as we head to the final part of that season on the girls' side of things in Class B basketball. We'll talk to him when we come back here on the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust.
Like our convenient online banking.
Along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, Go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
At Schatz Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it. Dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak. Or can you? Schatz Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Schatz Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
Well, welcome back here to the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie here on this Wednesday night, and we're going to continue our basketball talk. We're going to talk a little Minot High girls basketball coming up a little bit later, and also some Minot High boys wrestling as Justin Racine, who has their last home duel of the year coming up on Friday night. But now we're going to talk some Class B girls basketball as Roger Coleman, the head coach of the Bishop Ryan Lions, joins me, and they're on the backside of their regular season. They do have a few more games left in the district race, but right now they are undefeated in the district. They're 4-0. They're 11-3 overall. Roger, thanks for joining me tonight. And with all the weather stuff that we've had over the last 3 weeks to a month, you lost some games probably earlier that you're going to have to make up. But right now, you're sitting pretty good right now as far as the District 12 standings go as we look to the final 3 games of the year.
Yeah, we like where we're sitting, obviously, in the top seed. But we also know that, we have some tough games coming up to secure that 1 seed, and we got to keep playing well as a team like we have been lately to continue that and stay up top.
Hey, Bishop Ryan, you're on Surrey tomorrow night, and who else do you still have left then?
So Saturday will be Glenburn. That was a reschedule,
okay.
and then the potential big one on Monday is the MLS.
MLS, okay, because you do have the tiebreaker right now against our Redeemers because you would beat them during the year. So right now Ryan sits at 4-0, our Redeemers at 5-1, MLS at 4-1, and you got Delac Burlington at 3-2 and Glenburn at 2-2. So a lot of things are going to probably change before we get to the final standings, but as you look at the year, 11-3 on the year, and I know we talked early in the year, Roger, of just where your basketball team was and where you thought it could go. Boy, you guys have really improved by leaps and bounds, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so. And that's just a credit to the girls working hard. We came in with not a lot of depth, and then we actually lost one of our starters to a knee injury after the 3rd game. And we had some girls, role players that we thought would be role players, step up, and we've played through those injuries, and right now we're playing 6-7 girls deep, and they're playing their best basketball, and it's a different girl, here and there. We have our studs that we rely on, but when they get taken away, we have other girls that step up and do the job. So
what's been the biggest difference in the late going here as you got into the year? What has been the biggest, I guess, surprise for you as far as your basketball team?
I think a big thing is just, developing confidence and right away we kind of took things slow and tried to work the ball inside, and now we've just opened it up to be a complete team on the offensive end, and we take pride in our defense. We think we're, the last couple games I told the girls we're giving up 50. We got to clear that up, but we've been scoring about 70. So just relying on great defense, and now our offense is really starting to match that. And that's been the biggest difference of being able to score the basketball.
And the other thing, Roger, going into the year, we knew who your go-to people were going to be, that you knew Sydney Upton was going to be, and we want to congratulate her on going over 1,000 points. But Sydney's a type of guy, young lady that I've watched enough through districts last year and some of the games I watched earlier this year. She's a very unselfish basketball player. She's looking to score, but she's also looking to give the ball up as well.
Yeah, and if you ask me,
and sometimes you wish you wouldn't do that.
And we have had this talk multiple times, and really the last couple of games, I've been telling her she had to shoot more for forever, really for years, and then now it's finally clicked that just the other night she had 29 at Stanley, and we were short girls with, they were out injuries and COVID, so we were short girls. They said you need to shoot the ball, and then after the game I said, well, how many times do you think you shot? And she scored 29. She said, I asked Maggie first. She said 24. Maggie thought she shot. They don't realize how many shots that is. And she goes, well, I bet I shot then 30. I said, well, you shot 18 times.
Yeah.
And you can still get that volume. So I think that's one of the biggest things is getting her to understand that her shooting the ball isn't being a selfish player. She's a great player, great scorer, and so we need her to shoot the ball, and she's done that a lot more, and it's shown in the score calling, not only for her, but for our whole team.
Well, and that's the thing I think of. As you mentioned, you've had your talk. In Sydney, you got to take the shot when you've got the shot. But it's opening up other things for other kids, too, as well.
Oh, big time. And we saw that. We just played Berthold, and they threw some kind of exotic defenses at us, and they were going to take away our two main scorers. And then we had both Udekwe sisters. They combined for 30, and Elena Johansson put 10 in. So it's, that was a great team win. That we're going to just try to build on here, where they can't pick and choose who they're going to stop because we're going to spread the ball around, and we have scores at every position.
Okay, you got Surrey coming up tomorrow, a team that is 9-7 on the year, but it's a team that probably is going to try to throw some exotic things at you defensively as well.
Yeah, and it's something that we have to adjust to right away. Maybe it catches us off guard, but the girls are resilient, and they have high basketball IQ, and they usually figure out how to attack things and put us in a good position to be successful.
Okay, you've got and then you've got again, as you mentioned, you got Glenburn coming up. It's a makeup game, and then the MLS. But boy, I tell you what, I was just telling Coach Merkin and Coach Winchesky, it seems like at times this year has went really slow because of some of the COVID and cold and postponements and that sort of thing. But I can't believe we're at the end of February or January already.
Yeah, it's a tournament's crazy. It's a couple weeks away, and we talked about it a little bit today. And Maggie's like, she couldn't believe that it was so close to the end of the year. But like they say, time flies when you're having fun, and when you're winning, it's even more fun.
I know you want to be playing your best basketball come the middle of February into the end of February into March. Health-wise, and I know a lot of people are running through. I mean, I've been fighting this crud for the last week and a half, that sort of thing. I know there's COVID situations out there. Are you, sickness-wise, are you pretty healthy, and hopefully can cross your fingers and say, hopefully we're through the bad stuff?
I mean, it feels that way. We had a little spurt over Christmas, and then we just had this last one last week. But, I'm hoping that's kind of the last one that we have to deal with, and we can be full strength now going into the most important part of the season.
All right, so, again, you've got at Surrey tomorrow, and there's the Glenburn game at home.
That's on the road on Saturday.
On Saturday, and then you finish up with Mohall next week?
At home, yeah,
on
Monday.
So you got those three, and then I think you got a couple of extra non-region games to get ready for. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the District 12 tournament. We're going to be carrying it both video and audio here on the PSP network. And I just want to wish you guys the best of luck to the rest of the regular season. And I know we'll talk down the road during tournament time.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for having me, Scott.
All right. That's Roger Coleman. He is the head coach of the Minot High, or the Bishop Ryan girls basketball team. Again, they are the number one seed right now in District 12 at 4-0. They do have 3 district games left, but they're right now in the driver's seat as they head to their final 3 games against Surrey, Mohall, Lansford, Sherwood, and Glenburn. Well, I see Jason Schwartz just got his food. Maybe we'll let him eat his food, and we'll talk wrestling when we come back. We'll do Minor High Wrestling with Justin Racine when we come back here on the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust,
Like our convenient online banking.
along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Welcome back here to the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie on this Wednesday night. Again, we'll be back next Wednesday all the way through the month of February, March, and into April as we continue through the spring season. We talked a lot of basketball. We're going to talk a little bit more basketball coming up here in just a bit, but right now we're going to talk Minor High boys wrestling as Justin Racine joins me, the head coach of the Magicians. And since last I talked to Justin, you got a big win over Mandan last week at home, and then you went to a dual tournament where, boy, you had a pretty successful weekend over the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. As we were saying on the break there, we had a couple guys out of our lineup, some of our better dudes, and so we had some young guys that had to step up and get some varsity experience, and we're always looking for that. You want to develop these guys into that's our future.
Right. Talk a little bit about, you got the big win over Mandan. Congratulations goes out to Max Cunningham. He was our Sports Clips MVP player of the game. Then you went down, and what do you have? How many duels did you have over the weekend?
We had 8 on the weekend.
Okay. And that's a lot of East-West crossover?
Yep, pretty much all East-West crossover. We had a makeup duel with Bismarck High that got canceled or postponed. That
one got kind of away from you a little bit?
Yeah, they're well,
I know.
They're 1, we're 2, and they're 1 for a reason. They're pretty tough, so that one got away.
All right, come Friday night, your final home duel of the year against Dickinson, a team that is kind of fighting for you for one of those top 4 spots. Right now, Bismarck sits at 7-0, 5-1 for Century, 3-1 for Williston. A lot of these teams still have a lot of duels to wrestle. And then Minot at 4-2, Dickinson at 2-1. Tell me a little bit about Dickinson. What can we expect on Friday night?
Well, first we got Legacy tomorrow night, and that's.
I'm sorry. Yes,
yeah,
I didn't see that.
And that's another team that is right in the mix. So we're, and when we've been a pretty solid team for the last 6-7 years. You kind of got that bullseye on your back. You're going to get their best performance. Dickinson's always scrappy on Friday night. You expect a hard-fought duel in that one because they're always hard-nosed. So we just got to get our guys prepared for a battle and 14 matches and, battle fight.
You talked a little bit about missing some kids over the weekend. You hope to get them back for the next 2 nights?
Yeah, we're just some sickness stuff, and hopefully we'll have them back in the lineup for tomorrow night and Friday night.
You've been fighting this crud just like everybody else has
been?
Yeah,
really our big one was over Christmas break, and so now we're hopefully over it, and it's just a couple guys here and there. So,
Justin, talk a little bit about it, because I know we've talked about it before. when you've been on, but just to kind of remind people on the dual side of things, there is no regional dual tournament. It's just the top 4 seeds will go. So every regular season duel you'll have means something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes for exciting duels. You know, there's been talk about going to the regional duel, kind of like basketball plays a regional tournament. They've been talking about that, but I like it the way it is, kind of, because those duels during the year mean a lot, and they're exciting, and you only get to see that team one time. You can't avenge the loss in a regional tournament. So it does hurt if you got guys out, for sure. It makes it tough, but you got to bring your best team every week as best you can.
All right, Legacy at 7 o'clock in Bismarck tomorrow night, and then at home against Dickinson on Friday, 7 o'clock, JV at what is it, 5:30?
5:30, yep.
And then you've got kind of a special thing going on between the JV and the varsity match that night.
Yeah, we got any kid that wants to wrestle that's signed up on our webpage. We are having a little youth duel before the varsity duel, showcase those little guys in the future of Magi Wrestling.
You know, Justin, I got to ask you that question because I've done some wrestling now this year and have been around there. Your atmosphere has always been great there for the ones that I've done. Do you see an influx of kids getting more involved and getting more excited about wrestling at a younger age now?
Yeah, you know, that's always a struggle, is to get little kids out. Obviously, we're in a town that hockey and basketball are big, so to try to get kids to come out for wrestling is tough. But we you know, in our youth program, we have 100 plus kids in there. So, and that's, yes, in the last few years, we've got that number back up, and that helps for sure.
And part of that is because you've had some success too as a team, right?
Yeah, we've been pretty solid for the last 6 or 7 years here. So. Success breeds success, and I feel like kids want to be a part of it.
All right. Well, again, at Legacy tomorrow night, then PSP will have the final duel match, home duel match on Friday against Dickinson. I hope Cody and Preston, or both of them, can join me and help me out again. It's been a lot of fun. I've really kind of enjoyed getting involved a little bit on the wrestling end of it, not knowing a whole heck of a lot about the sport.
Well, we appreciate it, Scott. We appreciate you.
Hey, good luck tomorrow night. We'll see you on Friday.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
thanks.
That's Justin Racine, the head coach of the Minot High boys wrestling team. Again, they are on the road at Legacy tomorrow night, and then home against Dickinson on Friday. One final guest to come here on the Scotty K Show. That is the head coach of the Minot High girls basketball team, who is on a roll right now. Jason Schwartz, coming off a big win on the road in Bismarck last night over the Demons. It was number 5 over number 2. The new poll will be coming out here in about 15 minutes or so, and we'll see if the Majets will move up. But we'll talk to Jason about that and upcoming game tomorrow night here on the PSP Network against Bismarck St. Mary's. We'll do that when we come back to the Spicy Pie live here on the PSP Network, live, the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie.
If your eyes could talk, they'd tell you life is better with LASIK. No more reaching for your glasses. No more dry eye from overwearing your contact lenses. Right now, Bismarck LASIK is offering free consultations for LASIK procedures. Break free from the daily hassles and expenses of glasses and contacts. Life is clearly better. Book your free consultation today with Bismarck LASIK and see the difference. Call 222-2020 or schedule online at bismarcklasik.com.
The best part about working at BNC National Bank is developing relationships. I love working with people. We've been here for over 25 years.
We've grown just like our communities we're in.
But we still have that personal connection with our customers.
And that's why we can find the best solutions for them.
It feels great seeing projects around the community and knowing we're a small part of making that happen.
We're helping people buy their first homes.
Plan for the future.
From startups to big business.
We're part of the community, and we're proud of it.
Yours truly, BNC.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zzz, zzz?
I think your quash-later valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
This broadcast presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Shields, Premier Chiropractic, First International Bank and Trust, Shots Crossroads, Sport Clips, Tires Plus, First Western Bank and Trust, the Minot Hockey Boosters, Roger Ward Moving and Storage, Clean Tech, the UPS Store, Magic City Inspections, Planet Pizza, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Subway, Century Eyewear, Qdoba, North Country Sportswear, Morelli's Distributing, Jersey Mike Subs, Pro Style Production DJ Services, and the Beaupre Law Firm.
Well, welcome back here one final time here on the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie here on the PSP Network. As we've talked a lot of basketball, some wrestling. We're going to finish out with basketball as Jason Schwartz, the head coach of the Minot High Jets, will join me. Huge win for their ball club last night on the road, avenging their only loss of the year earlier at home to Bismarck High as Minot High picks up a 15-point win on the road last night. The final was 65-50. Boy, Jason, not a fun place to play. Not an easy place to win at. The Carl Gard Gymnasium in Bismarck. But boy, I tell you what, you guys bounced back after the loss to Bismarck and found a way to get a win last night.
We did, and just like you said, it's been a tough place for us to play. And since my time involved in the program, we haven't won at Bismarck High, and so that was a huge hurdle for us to get over last night. And we came out tight, turned the basketball over a little bit, and that was part of those growing pains that we had to go through last night to get over. Probably more psychological than anything. And so we talked about a little bit after the game of hey, we've cleared some big hurdles this year, because I can say the same thing about Legacy and about Mandan. In my time involved in the program, we have not won on the road at any of those three places, and we've accomplished all three of those things so far this year. So, we were a little bit tight, but those are things that we have to get over and get over the hump, and it's going to be tournament type of atmosphere like that,
right,
where we just have to get used to being in these big games now and taking care of our own business and not beating ourselves.
Once you got through those early jitters, that sort of thing, I think you kind of fell into a rhythm, and you did make some shots that kind of extended them out, and Bismarck really could not get back into the game. They cut it to 8, you get it back to 12, that sort of thing, and it really never got any closer than 8 to 10 points.
Right. And there was a time early in, about halfway through the second half, or maybe a little bit deeper, in the first half, where, they called a timeout when we went up 33-14. And, we talked about it in that timeout, like, hey, this is our opportunity where we can really blow this thing wide open. We got to keep pushing hard. We know they're going to fight back. Well, they just fought back a little bit harder than we pushed, and they got themselves back into the game a little bit. So, we had an opportunity to take care of things on our end a lot more than we did. But, we hit some big shots last night. We were able to continue to score. Our defense, the last 2 or 3 games has rose to a whole nother level. We didn't give them many comfortable looks or comfortable possessions last night. Our last game against Mandan here at home, same way. We made them very uncomfortable on the offensive end, and I think that carried over into this game a little bit as well. And that continues, and we still have some areas we can get better at defensively, so it should only get better.
Well, and I look at it last night, and I watched the entire game on the PSP network, and it's a lot tougher for me to sit there and not be broadcasting it and watching it, because it's going to be really exasperating. There was a few times where I'm just going, make one more pass, please make one more pass, and that's going to happen. And we talked about that last week, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got to sit down. We will on Friday. We're going to give them the day off from being in the gym, and we're going to sit down and watch film. Whether we're going to watch that game last night or what we watched our game tomorrow with St. Mary's, I don't know yet, but more than likely it'll be the Bismarck game, and so that they can see. And a lot of times when we sit down and we watch film, they see those things that we're talking about, and it's a lot easier for them to understand when they can. Video doesn't lie, like they say. So they need to see some of those things. Two things offensively. We got to take better care of the basketball these last two games. We have not done that. Last game we scored 88 points, but we still had 23 turnovers.
Right.
Come on, guys. We can't have that as the season wears on here and we roll into the second half. And then the second thing, shot selection. That has to get better too. But we have so many kids that can just score all over the court, and so it's hard to pull the reins and know when to pull the reins, and it's a fine line. So that's what we've got the second half of the season to kind of figure out what's a good shot, what's a bad shot.
Hey, I thought somebody that really had a nice game last night. Maggie was solid, so was Avery. I thought Maya Aguilar really had a nice game last night.
She did, and she's very capable of doing that, and hopefully we see that Maya the rest of the way. So she stepped up, hit some big shots, and what she have, I think, 5 3-pointers.
Right.
She can run the show a little bit, run the point if we need her to. So, yeah, she can do a lot of good things for us. It was good to see her have that game that she did last night.
Hey, getting that revenge game and, kind of evening out your series with Bismarck as far as tiebreakers go. That now, when I look at it at the West Region, it kind of looks like the same thing as the boys. You've got Bismarck at 10-0, you guys at 9-1, and Bismarck at 8-3. Kind of separated yourself from the other teams. But as Coach Winchesky said, and I know what your answer is going to be, you still got to strap it on every night you go out, because there's going to be teams that are going to knock off teams before it's over.
Yeah, and our focus has to be that, we play against the game. And, we got to hold ourselves to a certain standard as far as what we want to do defensively, and not scoreboard watch or take a look at the opponent that we're playing. I mean, those are things that we need to do daily in practice as well. Like, this is the way that we need to play. For instance, the turnovers, we got to keep that number down. So there's a lot of things, games within the game, that we've got to take care of, regardless of who we're playing or what the score is.
Jason, the other thing I think that I've been impressed with, and you shot the free throw pretty good last night. You've been a pretty good free throw shooting team this year.
We have, and
I don't want to jinx you either.
No, you're not, because it has to be a focus of ours. We want to get the ball to the hole. I mean, obviously we shoot a lot of threes, but at the same time we have to be able to get the ball to the hole to kind of loosen the teams up so that it opens up our 3-point game. But by getting to the hole, we're going to get fouled, and when we get those opportunities, we can't waste them. So I'll have to double check the stats, but I want to say that we've got to the line more than any other team. If not, we're in the top 2 or 3. So we're going to get there, and we've got, like I said, we've got great shooters. So when we get there, we feel pretty confident it's going in.
All right, you got St. Mary's tomorrow night, a game you can hear here on the PSP network, a team that you handled pretty well during the earlier in the year, but again, you can't look by any team in the West.
No, not at all, and they're playing better just like everybody as the season wears on. Everybody's getting a little bit better, so they're going to be stiff competition. They got some kids that can play. They've got a young crew that's up and coming. They got some kids that can step out and hit the three, and they've got multiple kids that can play, so they're going to go fairly deep on the bench, and we just got to be ready to go.
Jason, again, I got to ask this question. I asked of everybody I had on tonight. You staying away from all this sickness stuff going around?
Yeah, we are. It hit us right before the Christmas break pretty hard, and I think every kid in our program all the way through our freshman team had something at some point, including us as coaches. So, we've gotten away from it. We feel like we're really healthy right now and full speed ahead.
All right, you've got St. Mary's on tomorrow night, and then you're off till when? Next week?
Well, next Tuesday we've got Belcourt at home. We start a stretch of
some home games.
Seven games in a row, and then that'll be it for home games. And then we go on the road to finish the season with 3 on the road before the tournament starts. But it'll be nice to be at home here. Tuesday at home against Belcourt, Thursday at home against Mandan, and that's a non-counter in the standings. So that was a makeup from losing the Williston, and then. That Century team comes to town a week from Saturday.
Yeah, and you'll have Century pretty much back-to-back just because of the postponements, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So we'll play them within the span of a couple weeks, just like we did Bismarck and just like we did Mandan. So it's a quick turnaround, but you can see, what kind of progress you've made over that 2-week span, just like we did with Bismarck. We played them 2 weeks ago, and, we made some significant strides in that short amount of time.
Hey, congratulations on the start. Good luck tomorrow night, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, that's Jason Schwartz, the head coach of the Minot High Jets. We're going to wrap it up here. We do want to pass on a couple of things here on the PSP Network. Again, tomorrow night we'll have coverage of the Minot High girls and Bismarck St. Mary's girls from Magic City campus. It's a 7:30 start. We'll hit the air with the pregame show at about 7:15. And then Nick Hallberg will be in Mandan tomorrow night. Big West Region hockey matchup between Minot High and Mandan. Minot High and Jamestown right now tied in the West Region standings with 29 points apiece. So that one's going to go right down to the wire. Then Friday night I'll be up at Magic City campus as we will have the final duel meet for the Minot High boys wrestling. They will take on the Dickinson High midgets. Minot High in the right in the hunt for one of the top 4 spots to make the state duel state tournament coming up in Fargo in February. And then Saturday, Nick Hallberg will be back at Bismarck at Magic City campus for Minot High and Bismarck St. Mary's in boys. That is the only loss of the year for Minot High. They lost early in the year on the road to Bismarck St. Mary's, so they'll be trying to turn the tide on that one. Really, right now, big wins for Minot High last night. The boys now atop the West Region standings with a 10-1 record. They are 11-1 overall. Bismarck Century is second at 9-2. And 10-2 overall. Bismarck High third at 9-3, and they are 9-3 overall. And then comes St. Mary's, Dickinson, Mandan, Jamestown, Legacy, Williston, Turtle Mountain, and Watford City. On the girls' side of things, Century perfect at 10-0 in the region, 11-0 overall. Minot High at 9-1 in the region, 10-1 overall. Bismarck High at 8-3 and 8-3 overall. Then comes Legacy, Jamestown, Mandan, St. Mary's, Turtle Mountain, Watford City, and Dickinson. And I think I wasted enough time here and got to the 7 o'clock hour. Again, we have District 12 basketball coming up on the girls' side tomorrow night. 4 district games. Delac Burlington at our Redeemers. Mulhall, Lansford, Sherwood will play at South Prairie Max. Bishop Ryan against Surrey and Berthold against Glenburn. Brody Bosch, I threw out an invitation to him, but he had some other obligations tonight. We'll get Brody on sometime in the next couple of weeks as their district season is winding down on the boys' side of things in Class B boys basketball. The latest Class A polls are out, and they can be released now, and I will release them. The Class A girls basketball poll coming out just about a minute ago. Bismarck Century was the unanimous choice on the girls' side with all 15 first-place votes. Fargo Davies moved up 2 spots from number 4 to number 2. Minot High moved up 2 spots from 5 to 3. Bismarck High dropped 2 spots from 2 to 4. And rounding out the top 5 is West Fargo, who dropped 2 spots from 3 to 5 after a loss last night to Devil's Lake. Other teams receiving votes on the girls' side: Grand Forks Red River, West Fargo Cheyenne, and Devil's Lake. On the boys' side, we have a new number 1 team. Congratulations to the Magicians of Minot High. They received 13 of the 15 first-place votes to take over the number 1 spot on the boys' side of things. Fargo Davies, 1 first-place vote is number 2. They moved up 2 spots from number 4. Bismarck Century with a loss to Dickinson drops 2 spots. They did receive a first place vote, but they are now number 3. West Fargo Cheyenne moved up 1 spot from 5 to 4, and Bismarck High rounds out the top 5. They dropped 2 spots from 3 to 5. One other team receiving votes. That was the West Fargo Packers. That does it for tonight in the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie here on this Wednesday night. Thank you for joining us. Join us tomorrow night, Minot High girls basketball against Bismarck St. Mary's. We hope you join us. Have a good night. Stay safe and stay warm.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust,
like our convenient online banking,
along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete.